All right, so here we are at our beautiful campground. Now I want to go ahead and hook up all my hoses. I always like to do that with my slides in. I've learned from experience, hitting my head lots of times, that it's much easier to do with the slides in. And then the second thing I like to do is, I'm a lady, I like to stay nice and clean, so I'm going to go ahead and put on my gloves before I get to the dirty work. And I say dirty work because the first hose that I hook up is always my Stinky Slinky. It tends to be the shortest hose, so I want to make sure it will reach its spot before I hook up everything else. So I'm going to grab my sewer hose, or like I like to call it, the Stinky Slinky. And it looks like I've got plenty of hose here, so I'm just going to step on this, take off the cap. I'm going to make sure I put that back in the door there. And then I'm just going to set that here and thread that nice and tight. So I've got a secure fitting there. Now, in case it wouldn't thread on, that's where I'd use that cool adapter that one of our customers showed us in the last video, so that it would fit snugly and stay in place while I'm camping. Okay, so now I have two options. Depends on how long I'm staying. If I'm just staying for a couple days, I'm going to not open my gray tank because I want that to fill up so that I can rinse out the Stinky Slinky when I go to leave. If I'm going to be staying for a week or 5 or 6 days, I'm going to be doing laundry, I want to go ahead and open my gray tank so that I can use it just like I was at home and not worry about it. And then just remember, about a day before I'm going to leave, I want to go ahead and close my gray tank so I can start to fill that up. Now, it seemed logical that I'd hook my water up next because I'm right here, but I don't like to do that. I like to hook up my 50 amp shore power cord next, and there's a reason why. First of all, most of the time when you put that water hose on, you connect it, you go to turn the water on, you don't have it super tight and water sprays all over the place here, or you get wet. I just don't want to be wet when I'm dealing with my 50 amp shore power cord, so I do that next. Now, the first thing I do before I get my shore power cord out is I carry a surge guard protector. You already have one built into the coach, but that's a one-time use. It blows, it's done. This is an extra insurance policy. So I like to use this. Now I know when I get this coach back to my CEO, what he does is he has one installed on the wall inside this bay, because these are expensive and he's had them stolen before. So just something that you might want to have National Indoor RV do for you on your next visit. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out. I'm at a beautiful park that's been well maintained, along with its connection here for the 50 amp shore power. But as you cross the country, you're going to go into parks where that's not the case. You may have reverse polarity, or you may have rusting at the unit. Again, this is a reason that you want to use this. Before I hook in, I'm going to make sure my breaker is off. I'm going to connect my surge guard protector, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect this. All right, once I got that securely in place, I'm going to go ahead and turn the breaker on. It's going to go through a series of checks to make sure the power is okay. It's going to go from red light to green light to send power to the coach, and you'll actually hear it click on. Now I just want to make sure that I've got my cord going through the guards here so that I can keep all the critters out of my coach while I'm here in the park. And I'm done with that part, and shut it up nice and tight. All right, so now to hook up our water hose. First and foremost, you need to go buy a Camco water filter. So you can get this at Walmart's. I picked up mine last night. Another reason I like staying at Walmart's overnight, one of the things I can get if I forgot it. So there's a couple reasons you want this. First of all, not all parks, again, are created equal, and the water in those parks are not the same. So you could be at a campground where they've got rust in their pipes. And what will happen in your toilets, it's that toilet water is not filtered by the coach water filter. So you'll see in your toilet, you can actually visibly see it will be kind of an orangish brown color. Not only is it pretty gross to look at, it's also going to leave a ring inside your toilet that you're going to have to clean. And then you've got that sediment coming into your coach, which I don't think is good. Again, that same rusty water is going to be going into your Aqua Hot, and you're going to end up spending a lot of money servicing the Aqua Hot much more often than you would need to do that. So you want to make sure you put this on at the tap here so that all the water going into your coach is filtered, especially going to the toilets and the Aqua Hot. And then I only drink the water that comes out of my refrigerator, because that goes through 3 filters. It's going to go through this filter, the filter for the coach, and then the filter for the refrigerator. This is a charcoal filter, so the first time I use it, I'm going to hook it up and I'm going to run water through it, and that first water that comes through is going to be black. So I let the water run until it's clear. So I know when I come into a campground and use this for the first time, I'm going to get this area all wet. That's why I hook up my electricity first before going to my water. So before I hook this up though, I want to use this brass fitting here. This is a water pressure regulator. So when you travel across the country, again, the pressure is different in each park. I've been in parks where it's been over 100 PSI. All your fittings inside are made of plastic. That's going to rip them apart and you're going to have tons of leaks and problems. So you want to make sure you use this. Now this is something that you're going to end up leaving at a park because it's easy to do. It fits onto the tap here and it's just easy to leave. So I know when I get this coach to my CEO, he always has one of our technicians at National Indoor RV Centers attach a water pressure regulator to the coach, just as the water on the end of the reel before the water goes into the coach. With it's adjusted by a screw so that he always has the same pressure, water pressure going into the coach. So just a little tip there. But I'm going to go ahead and use this today, and hopefully I'll remember this when I go to leave. I'm going to screw that on nice and tight. This has an arrow on it so that you screw this part onto the top here, not the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Okay, let's see how I did. Now I've learned from experience, you stand behind these, not in front of these. And I'm just gonna slowly lift it up. Hey, I passed. All right. Take the end off here. Okay. Those. Okay, so you gotta just get that aligned perfectly and screw it on nice and tight. If it's not on perfectly, you're gonna have water spraying all over the place. So test number 2, every time I lift this handle, I make sure I'm behind it. Believe me, you don't wanna be covered in wet. Perfect again. What can I say? No, I'm kidding, because it's not always perfect, but I did do it nice for this video. Yay! So now I just want to make sure I've got my hookup to city water valve on. That's going to be different for every coach. Then I'm just going to tuck in my water hose here, keep out the critters again, and close everything up. And now we can get ready to take out our slides. Now you notice on most of these late model coaches, your tolerance on your slides is so small that you want to make sure you take your slides out before you put your jacks down. If you put your jacks down first, you may torque your coach a little bit, and now your box isn't square. So you're taking your slide out without a square box. So I'm going to go inside, take out my slides now. So my slides are all out. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my power jacks and hit auto level. And the jacks will go down automatically and level the coach. So my jacks are down, it's telling me that I'm level, but sometimes it just can be a little bit off. I know this from my bathroom door. So if you open up your midship bathroom door just to a 45 degree and then see if it goes one way or the other. So it's slowly going here to the driver's side of the coach, which means I'm a little low on that side. If it was going to the passenger side of the coach or back this way, I would know I was a little low on my passenger side. So that's the poor man's way to figure it out. And I'll just go and tweak that just a little bit. Now, if you want to spend a little money, there's another trick. You can get this RV Easy level from Amazon, and you can put that dead center in the coach, and it's going to give you a light and let you know if you're low on one side or the other. So I want to tweak my jacks just a little bit. So you've got an up and down arrow, and you've got a rear and a left. So I'm going to just turn them on, and then I just want to barely tap the down arrow on my rear, which is going to push the jack down and raise the coach just a little bit. And I'm going to just barely push it on the left and see if that gets me completely level. All right, so I'm going to check and see how I did. I'm going to open it to a 45-degree angle. Perfect, it's not moving. So I know this is a poor man's way to do it, but I also know that it works. You cannot trick gravity. I hope you've enjoyed the third video of our 4-part series, this being on setting up camp. Now we're all set up. I'm ready to go have some fun. But before I do that, make sure you email me or call me if you have any additional tips and tricks that you'd love to share with us. I hope you new RVers found this helpful, and you seasoned RVers, if there's something that you would like to add to my list, I would love that. Now I'm going to go and enjoy myself at our AIM rally. AIM stands for All Inclusive Motorhome Club, so you're all welcome to come and join us. You won't really know how much fun it is until you come and experience for yourself. So make sure you watch my 4th video on tearing down camp, and now let's go have fun at the rally.